We all know the story. While overseeing an experimental detonation of a gamma-radiating nuclear bomb, Dr. Robert Bruce Banner sees that a teenage boy has driven onto the testing field and subsequently rushes out to save the boy. However, though he manages to succeed in his noble effort by thrusting the adolescent into a trench, he fails to get himself to safety as well, and is thus caught in the explosion, which exposes him to massive amounts of gamma radiation. As a result, his DNA becomes mutated, such that whenever he becomes angry or otherwise excited, he transforms into a giant and inhumanly powerful green-skinned ogre, referred to as the Hulk. Via the many issues that the series of comics based on the character has spanned, it has been revealed that this fantastical alter ego, which is specifically referred to as the Savage Hulk, is a manifestation of Dr. Banner's deep-seated anger and psychological issues, which stems from his abusive childhood. Furthermore, within this series of comics, Bruce develops several additional alter egos that each have their own unique physical appearance and/or personality. Whereas the alter ego of the Savage Hulk persona has green skin and the mental capacity and speech pattern of a toddler, that of a less frequently occurring transformation has gray skin, is slightly smaller than his green counterpart, and has the cognitive capabilities and cadence of a cunning and streetwise mobster. This persona is known fittingly as the Grey Hulk, and for some strange reason likes wearing tailored suits and fedoras. Via the counseling of Doc Samson, a psychiatrist and a good friend of Dr. Banner, Bruce seemingly combines the persona of his base personality, that of the Savage Hulk, and that of the Grey Hulk into one, and thus becomes what is referred to as the Merged Hulk, who eventually refers to himself as the Professor, or Professor Hulk. The Professor has the intelligence of Bruce in his normal state, the cunning and tactical mindset of the Grey Hulk, and the appearance and physicality of the Savage Hulk, minus the ability to become infinitely stronger as he becomes angrier. It is this particular Hulk that the fanbase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe mistakenly believes is the basis for the version of the character that appears in Avengers Endgame, which is actually based on yet another transformation of Dr. Bruce Banner, which shall be revealed herein. However, before the revelation, it's important to compare and contrast Endgame's Hulk, who is officially referred to as Smart Hulk, with the Professor. The Professor is very aggressive, as he has no qualms about engaging in violence even when a situation can be remedied peacefully, and is willing to threaten violence even against ordinary humans. For example, in The Incredible Hulk issue number 379, he enters a bar, which is not the type of place that Bruce Banner would ever visit when his baseline persona is in control. And he incidentally sits at a table at which an unsavory group of men typically sits. So when said unsavory group of men arrive and demand that the Professor and his company leave the table, the Green Behemoth refuses, and instead threatens to harm them if they don't leave. He even lifts one of them up by the collar of their shirt to indicate that he's serious about his threat. A few moments later, a friend of his calls out to him from outside, and he rushes out to help said friend. However, a woman tries to stop him, and he responds by flinging her off his arm without any consideration for her safety, sending her crashing into the pavement. Endgame's Hulk, that is Smart Hulk, doesn't seem as if he'd ever engage in this type of behavior. He's very friendly and personable, so much so that he ceases eating his large meal at a diner to accommodate a trio of kids who want to take a picture with him. Smart Hulk doesn't seem like the type of person to threaten ordinary humans and lift them up by their shirt collars, or to fling a harmless woman off his arm. One may believe that Smart Hulk is only an adaptation of the Professor, in the sense that Smart Hulk is a combination of all of the personas of Bruce Banner that existed in the MCU prior to Smart Hulk's debut, just as the Professor is a combination of all of the personas of Bruce Banner that existed in the comics prior to the Professor's debut. Hence, one who believes this would reason that since there existed only two personas of Bruce Banner in the MCU prior to Smart Hulk's emergence, Smart Hulk is a combination of only those two personas, namely Bruce Banner's baseline persona and that of his alter ego, the Savage Hulk. However, this belief is wrong, because Smart Hulk is not a combination of Bruce Banner's baseline persona and that of the Savage Hulk, but is merely Bruce Banner's baseline persona and a somewhat smaller variation of the Savage Hulk's body. This is evident based on Smart Hulk's reference to the Savage Hulk persona in the third person.
For years, I've been treating the Hulk like he's some kind of disease, something to get rid of. But then I start looking at him as the cure.
If the Savage Hulk comprised part of his own persona, then Smart Hulk wouldn't refer to the Savage Hulk as another distinct persona from himself, but would speak in the first person when speaking in regard to that persona. Furthermore, whereas the Savage Hulk enjoys engaging in violence, Smart Hulk does not. For example, in Thor Ragnarok, the Savage Hulk is revealed to have been living as a gladiator on the planet Sakaar since his disappearance 2 years prior at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, and he appears to relish in that lifestyle, shouting in excitement in response to cheers from a stadium's worth of spectators, and declining Thor's offer to help him return to Earth if he'd help Thor save the people of Asgard. Though Smart Hulk is willing to engage in violence if it's necessary, he doesn't enjoy doing so, which is evident based on his response to Captain America's suggestion that he do so in order to disguise himself as his savage counterpart after they arrive in 2012's Battle of New York. He refers to Cap's suggestion as gratuitous, and unenthusiastically smashes a car and unenthusiastically throws a motorcycle. So it's quite obvious that Smart Hulk is not a combination of Banner's baseline persona and the persona of the Savage Hulk, as the Professor is a combination of Banner's baseline persona and the personas of the Savage Hulk and the Grey Hulk. In response to this, one might say that as an adaptation of the Professor, Smart Hulk shouldn't be a combination of personas, since the Professor's status as a combination of personas was retconned via a revelation that the Professor is actually yet another alternate persona that represents Bruce's idealized version of himself. However, this argument would be wrong, because Smart Hulk is not another alter ego of Bruce Banner, but is simply Bruce Banner. His personality is no different from that of Banner's baseline persona at all, whereas the Professor's personality strongly differs from that of Banner's baseline persona. Further proof that Smart Hulk is not based on the Professor is his lack of a rapid healing factor. In The Incredible Hulk Volume 1, issue number 398, the Professor is melted down to his skeleton by a villain called Vector, but completely regenerates in mere seconds. However, in Avengers Endgame, after Smart Hulk wields the Nano Gauntlet with all 6 Infinity Stones inserted into it, and subsequently suffers severe burns on his right arm and the right side of his neck, he does not heal at all. In fact, even by the end of the film, which presumably takes place days or weeks after Smart Hulk sustains this injury, Smart Hulk's arm still has not healed. Hence, due to the dissimilar personalities and the dissimilar physical capabilities of the Professor and Smart Hulk, as well as the dissimilar nature of their personas relative to Bruce's other personas, it's quite obvious that the latter is not based on the former. However, there is one particular variation of the Hulk from the comics to which Smart Hulk is very, very similar, and therefore is more likely to be the basis of Smart Hulk. This variation is known as Banner-controlled Hulk. This transformation debuted in The Incredible Hulk number 123, in which Dr. Banner triggers the transformation at will in the presence of the Fantastic Four in order to convey to them that he now retains his personality when he becomes the Hulk. So, like Smart Hulk, this transformation is simply Bruce Banner's baseline persona combined with the physical transformation into the green-skinned Hulk. Furthermore, like Smart Hulk, this transformation lacks the rapid healing factor of the Professor and the other forms of the Hulk. For example, in Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, Banner-controlled Hulk sustains an injury to his left leg and subsequently has to wear a leg brace for a period of time, which indicates that Banner-controlled Hulk does not have a rapid healing factor. So there you have it. The Hulk in Avengers Endgame, which is officially referred to as Smart Hulk, is not an adaptation of the Professor, but is an adaptation of Banner-controlled Hulk.